Yo, what's goody, family? Welcome to the Devil's Advocate with Ace Anderson and Akron Watson, where we're making the best case for the guiltiest pleasure. Get the fuck out of here.
That's what she said, man.
Wow.
She wanted to be abstinent.
Damn!
Yeah, and we already together.
I think that's a
Man,
sign,
ask
nigga.
anybody. There are no benefits to abstinence.
What's going on, family? It's your boy Ace Anderson and Akron Watson, and we are back for another episode of The Devil's Advocate. What's going on, brother? How you doing, man? We can't hear you. Can't hear me? You can't hear me? Can you hear me? Can I hear you? I'm getting a signal. I can't hear you. Can you? I can't hear you. I don't have no sound on you. All right. Well, we're here for another week. And we're having technical difficulties as it happens.
Yo, you're done.
What's going on, brother? We
Can you hear
back?
me now?
Yes, sir.
All right, boom, bet. My headphones. I got these wireless headphones, man. They strong.
That Bluetooth.
Powerful. They was all the way in the bedroom.
All good. What's going on, brother?
Nothing much, man. Just sitting down with you, man. Sitting down with you. Put on a nice shirt for it. What's up, bud? I'm also talking to my folks on my live. What am I doing? I'm doing the Devil's Advocate. It happens on Mondays at 8 PST, which means Pacific Standard Time. And please join us. But yeah, man, what's good, man? How was filming?
Yo, it was great. Tracy Morgan said, "Remember me when you're famous." So.
That's what's up, man. Come on, Tracy.
Yeah, it was cool because I got to do a serious scene in a comedy, so I brought some weight, some gravity to a kind of fun and lighthearted story. So I kind of bring a new element to it. You know what I'm saying?
Do you know what's the name of this episode?
I don't know the name, but it's the final episode of the 4th season, which isn't even out yet. So
Come on, cliffhangers.
yeah, man.
Are you a part of that? Are you a part of the cliffhanger?
I don't want to say too much because
I like that.
Because since the season hasn't I don't even think they've ended the 3rd season. I don't know if they're done with the 3rd season, airing them all. So
I'm speaking to your mom on my live. You should go over here. Go to theakronwatson.com and click on the link.
Yeah, man. So what's up? What you want to talk about this week?
Well, what's the topic? What is this topic, man? What's going on? You talk about the Devil's Advocate at all? You talk about
each week I feel like we don't know what's happening until it's happening. Work. So, I'm trying to just figure out what's happening.
Well, how do you feel about it?
How do I feel about what exactly?
Well, let's start with the topic. Well, how do you feel about the topic? The devil's advocate or not?
Yeah, that's just like, is this what's the reason for this show? How do we make it better? Is it something that we want to continue doing? Or how do we make it work with what we are doing? How do we fit it into what our lives look like now? Does it make sense? This is episode number 18, and we've been, going steady. So that's the thought. We make a plan. We made a plan for each week, and we don't necessarily hit that plan. And then we kind of stumble into the next episode.
And so, have you answered any of those questions for yourself?
No, because those are things that I need to discuss with you.
Okay. I mean, shit. I had thought about like maybe I needed a break, but the break was more for I felt like the show was doing the opposite of what I wanted it to do. What I wanted the show to do was like make me happy, make me feel good, and instead what it was doing was adding this bit of pressure to and I was like, well, should I welcome the pressure? And then I immediately thought no, but I thought no because of what's happening in the world, not because I didn't think I couldn't take it. I just was like, oh, well, if I add this pressure on top of that pressure, it might, why should I do that? But then, just in habit of having pressure, I just was like, no, I'm just going to keep welcoming it. I'm just going to keep welcoming it, keep meeting it. Just how, however it makes me feel, however it comes, I'm just going to keep doing it. So that's been my thought leading up until today. But man, you should type some of the questions up so we could answer them like the show.
Type up what questions?
Some of the questions that you just brought up.
Oh, I didn't have time to type anything up. I just thought of this today because if we come up with a plan to make a show for the week, then we don't hit the plan, and then I used to stress about it, but I got to the point where I'm like, I don't want to stress about it anymore. I was putting a lot of pressure on myself, talking about pressure to, make it look good, make the graphics look right, make sure you're happy with it. And, and I realized like, if it doesn't seem like you putting that type of pressure on yourself. So if you're not pushing that pressure, then I don't want to put that much pressure on myself when I can be doing other things too. So, whenever we come up to these topics, I kind of make it up on the spot. On Monday, it's Monday come around. All right, well, I ain't talked to Akron. He ain't say nothing. I don't see anything. So, then I'm just going to make it whatever I make. And I hope he's all right with it. And that's sort of what it is. So it's not like there was time to plan or talk about, plot out how I was going to have the conversation of the show or what it even meant. It's just like, are we doing this or not? Is this something that's really happening, or like, should I even consider it in my scope of stress? Because it does stress me out literally every week when we come to it, and I'm like, I don't want to be stressed. I want to be working on stuff like that's fun, and but when there's so many. I guess when there's a lot of unanswered questions, it's hard to it's hard for it to be fun. It's just like all stress. It's like there's nothing answered. There's nothing concrete. So I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I, I hear you, and I'm wanting to know, like, why do you? The reason that I'm asking this is because the reason I didn't put stress on myself is because I originally what I thought we were doing was just having a conversation, and so I thought if the topics went away, we could go back to just having the conversation. And so when we're both busy, that's what I think would work easiest is if there was no topic and we just was like, yo, we just checking in. That's what, that's what I thought we was doing last week. And even though you put the flyer out, I didn't really think and don't think that that's necessary to do every week.
So we shouldn't promote the show.
I don't think that we have to promote the show every week. I don't think that in the vein of like we still talking about pressure. I don't think that we have to put that pressure on ourselves every week, especially if we both get busy. Like if we both busy, then it just, unless we hire somebody else, it's just natural that we're gonna have to prioritize. And like the show is a great thing to have, but it's still just a conversation between you and I. You know what I'm saying? Like if nobody logged in, that's what it'd be. You know what I mean? And so I think if we can keep it that simple in times, especially when we're busy, then like it'll always be.
So what for you is the purpose of the show?
For me, just to talk to you. Like at the end of the day, if we don't connect at any other time during the week, it's gonna be this.
There we go. Okay, so I think that's cool, I guess. Uh I guess it just feels like everything is always changing from week to week, you know?
What do you mean?
The format shifts from week to week, and I don't really know what because I guess for me, I originally wanted to do this because to give ourselves a platform to be able to share all the work that we're doing and the stuff that we have going on. But I feel like every week we've kind of changed up how we do this. Like, is it about the topics? Are we getting topics? Is it taboo? Like, what about us talking to each other is really taboo? How do we make it? How do we get to the meat of it? How do we make it shorter? How do we keep it constrained? You had talked about having a bell at one point, or like hearing certain sounds, or having a buzzer, and so while there's just been a lot of different ideas, and it's all kind of convoluted, so I don't really understand what the point of the show is. Like I'm trying to figure out what is this show? What is my role in doing this show? And what's the point? I really want to know. Like last week we talked about the album, and I was asking, like, what do we do with the album? And you said we don't do anything. We move on to the next thing. And so that was a little disheartening to me, because I'm like, we put all our effort into this album and we're not going to let nobody hear it. We're not going to put it out. We're not going to show it on the show. We're not going to talk about it no more. It's just, we did that. That's the past and it's done, So I don't I put a lot of pressure on myself to make these things happen because I want them to be good and I want it to be successful. But to put it out and then just say, kind of be careless with it, to say like it doesn't really matter anymore, or that's the same way I feel about how this show is going. Like the show, it just doesn't even really matter. It doesn't matter if we show up on Monday or not. But like I made a commitment to show up on Monday every week, and so I'm going to show up on Monday every week, and I don't know what that means anymore. And you and I have had several conversations where it's like I really kind of get like I don't know what I thought everything was going fine, and then it's not. And so I'm kind of lost in terms of what exactly we are doing, because I want to have some focus. I've realized like I've been really bad about expending my energy in so many different places that I put it all in the wrong thing. And I don't want to do that anymore. I want to focus my energy on things that will work, on projects that make sense, on projects that will get to the next level, take us to the next level. And I don't feel like that with The Devil's Advocate. I don't feel like that with the album. I feel more like those were just more distractions from the ultimate mission, if they are just to be past projects that that are past projects. Like this show, is it just something that people will be like, oh yeah, that's something cool that they did back then, or is this something that we are working uh to make better, or to make something that we actually want? Like, are we doing this because we want this, or are we doing this because we have to, or we feel like we have some obligation? Because there really is no obligation if it's just pressure. I said
Yeah,
a lot.
there's definitely no obligation. But that, to me, that was the original thing, and so I thought no matter what, we were going to stick to that thing. That this is our conversations are taboo in general. So no matter what we end up talking about, if we start vibing on it, then it's gonna get taboo. So that was the original. That was what the original thing was, and so the topics coming in was a nice format. But then the way I was thinking was that, like, if it's been like a crazy week and we're trying to get to the show, or like I've been unavailable, or you, whatever, then we can at least rely on the fact that like we know what the format of the show is and we can talk about anything. So it's like we don't have to have a topic. And so then if we don't have to have a topic, then it was like, well, we don't have to do the things during the week either, so that can take the pressure off that too. Now on the weeks when we do have that and it's set in place, and then those are the perfect weeks. But every week doesn't have to be perfect is what I was thinking. But yeah, I always just go back to the original purpose, man, of that, like, we just reconnecting to just like talk. But yeah, I mean, that's all. I don't really. It sounds like you want me to do more with our projects, and I'm happy to. But yeah, it sounds like you would. That's what I'm getting, is that it sounds like you'd like for me to do more.
Well, I just want to follow your lead, man, because I don't want to do anything that you're not happy with, and I don't want to, but I also want to get the projects done. And so if I'm relying on you, I'm following you, it's like a lot of times it's like the thing is not going to get done if I'm just like waiting for you to tell me what to do, because like I got to kind of take the initiative. But then when I take the initiative, there's times where I have taken the initiative and I didn't do it the right way, and it doesn't make you happy, and it makes us argue, and it makes the situation just not good. So I'd rather just rely on following like you say, this is what we're going to do, and then that's what we do. When it comes to the Devil's Advocate, when it comes to the Sick Brothers, like, because I don't want to overstep, which I've done before. Apparent, I've done, and it's happened. So that's not, I don't want to be in that position, but I also want to get the projects done. Like, I want to work on this stuff. I want to build stuff. And like, like last week asking you about the topic, yo, what should the topic be? Like, what I want to make the thing. Like, I'm like, we have a schedule that we put in the calendar, and are we putting schedules in the calendar, times in the calendar, just for bullshit, just so we can say it's there? Or like, are we actually trying to get something done? Are we actually trying to work on something? And I don't want to put the schedule down and like put pressure on myself and treat it like it's a job when it's like not gonna actually happen that way. So yes, I guess in the long run, I want you to do more, but I just want there to be some direction. I want some clarity.
Well, yeah. I, to be clear, like, the reason that I'm showing up every time is because I believe in the thing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, bro. Like, I I can definitely I can definitely do more for sure. As far as like, hitting you up and like making our meetings priority. For me, like that's what I hear you saying is that like on the times that we have set in the calendar, you like to actually meet up. And so if that means, and because you're following my lead, then you're waiting for me to call you. And so then if that's what needs to happen, then I'll make it a priority to hit you up during all those times. You know?
Yeah, man. I'm like, I don't want to be accused of being the leader and like making it at the Ace show. Like, that's what I don't want. And so I'm gonna follow you because I will never call it the Akron show. I'll never say, oh, it's just you trying to make it about Akron. But I'm not gonna take the lead because I'm not gonna get in the way of anybody telling me I'm making this all about Ace. So I'm gonna follow you in terms of the captions. If you want to post on the Sick Brothers account, if you want to do it, like, then that's what I'm gonna do, following you, but not me making the decisions about doing stuff, because I did that, and that's where I got caught up, and I don't want to be in that position anymore. So when I say the devil's advocate or not, it's like, if Akron wants to do the devil's advocate, then we gonna do it. If Akron doesn't want to do the devil's advocate, we not gonna do it. That's how I feel.
I see. That makes sense, man. That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I heard you. I heard you when you said that the first time, and it actually really motivated me because it made me feel like, it made me feel like you were gifting me with something. It made me feel like you were like giving me privilege, a responsibility, and I wasn't overwhelmed by it. I thought that I could meet it, but I was also like sort of looking at the meetings and not prioritizing them over stuff that I've been having going on. And I should and want to, man. This is just all, no excuses, but like, yeah, this is just new for me to like be prioritizing something that is like mine. You know what I'm saying? That like it's for sure not gonna get done if I don't do it. So yeah, I hear you that I should prioritize our meetings, and I should prioritize our products, our brand, what we're building together, what we talked about and agreed upon. I should prioritize that more.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's whatever you want, bro. Like, I'm here. I see that you're a great, talented artist, and I want to make stuff with you. But I want to make it with you. I don't want to be making it and trying to pull you along, and I don't want you to be making it and I'll be like, yeah, let me ride your coattails. Like, I want us to make it together. But I'm
Yeah,
not going to do that if you're not showing that you have any interest or you have the initiative. You take the initiative, I will take the initiative. But it's not going to be the other way around. I just don't want to get into that situation again.
yeah. I hear you, man. I hear you, bro, for real. Um, yeah, because it's like it's something that I've always dreamed of, and now that it's like right here at my doorstep, I just need to have a different perspective on it. Uh, And the perspective is that like it's a very positive, like very good thing. It's great things that we're doing. You know what I'm saying? It's not even like like I want to put them to the side because they're bad or anything. It's just never really prioritized my own shit before. But yeah, for sure, man. For sure, I
So
can definitely do that.
I would like that. That would be cool if we could just like I'd like to see you get excited about stuff that I create for you, and it's the same way like I feel elated when in the way that Gabrielle has thrived with everything that I've created for her and watching her like go for it. It's like that's the biggest gift to me. And so when I look at the devil's advocate, I feel like this is something I want to give you to, like, this whatever you say you want, that's what I make. Like all of the intros and all of this stuff, like the reason why it looks so dope is because I'm trying to impress yo ass, nigga. Like not nobody else, not the people watching. I'm trying to impress you. So you can be like, oh yeah, this is my shit. I fuck with it. And you go and tell all these people that and celebrate the shit that's been created. And it's your vision, right? Like you wanted this shit. So I'm gonna make it look like that. I'm gonna make it look like something that you could be proud of to tell other people about. But then when we do something and then you don't tell anybody about it because it's whatever, it makes me feel like, okay, this shit isn't really worth anything anyway. Um, so I want I want us to create a project that you're happy with, So if that means it's something else, then it can be something else. It doesn't have to be this, but
Yeah, man, I hear you, man. I hear you, bro. You know, I just I feel bad, man, because I feel like I'm definitely like just not meeting the challenge of it all, But it's not even really a challenge, honestly. It's just I need to communicate with you more because I think about the show every day. I see our meetings every day in my phone. But I just need to just hit you up more, man. And yeah, I
what do you
mean,
think is the reason that you don't pick up the phone?
it's not as fun as it used to be, bro. Just to be totally honest, now that you married, bro, it's just different, and it's just not as fun as it used to be. And so, like, I'm sort of still in the same position, still this like single guy, like messing around, and like I just haven't really accepted that it's just gonna be different, and whatever the difference is, embrace it, And instead, I'm sort of like avoiding it. Um, and that's really just it, and that's not to like criticize you or in any sense, like it's just to say that like I'm wanting something that like isn't the case with us right now, and not accepting reality that like it's different, and that's fine, like embrace what it is now. But that's been what it is. It's like I will hesitate, and then I'll find something else to do, you know to avoid picking up the phone. And yeah.
So do you think that um we do you think that creating together as we have been, do you think that we should go like try harder at creating together through that, or do you need time to not create together? So, or is there a time, like would there be a time that you call me, be like, hey yo, I'm ready to make some stuff, or is it something that you just feel like we gotta work through?
I don't know, bro. That's something that like I don't really know. I know that if I had to choose between working through it and not working through it, I would choose working through it. So that's what I'm doing, is being like, oh, this is the homie. If nothing else, I can trust him, and so I need to try to work through whatever this is, um, despite how it might make me feel. And so that's what I've been unsuccessfully trying, or maybe successfully, or whatever. That's what I've been trying to do. Is just keep my friend and push through whatever I'm feeling. I think that that's the better option, the best option at least. Uh, but it might not be,
I mean, I think whatever option you're willing to do is the best option. So if working through it is something you're willing to do, um, then that's the best one. But how often do you feel like it's not the same? Or is it just like anytime, all the time?
Yeah,
What
it's just
percentage of the time, I guess?
it's just like whenever when I think about you, you know what I'm saying? When I think about you, and like today, for instance, I'm like looking through pictures and shit, and like experiencing, like times when we hung out, because I'm like about to send you all these Fortress of Solitude pictures. So I'm going through that whole time period and looking at all these different times when we were hanging out, even like right before I left. And, those type of times don't happen, you know what I'm saying, anymore. Or if they do, they happen with your wife, and that's fine. But it's just not something that I'm used to. And so, that's been, the thing that I've been sort of bumping and like sometimes it goes great, sometimes it doesn't. And I wish that it went great every single time, honestly. But yeah. So I think about the mistakes. Mostly I think about the mistakes that I've made, and like how bad it makes me feel when I make a mistake in regards to you. So it's like guilt, and like it doesn't just make me mad, because at first, without knowing what it was, of course it made me mad because I thought it was something else. But then after talking to you and trying to figure it out repeatedly, then it's like, oh no, this is a me thing. And so to think about you, and then think about how badly I've been handling this, then that just brings about more guilt. But I don't know if I need time, because when I talk to you, it gets better. That's the thing. It's like when I talk to you, it gets better. So it almost feels like despite how I feel, I should just pick up the phone. Because there's something just like, there's something that like I see that like I can't explain, that when I talk to you goes away. It's like a feeling, you know what I mean? Like you talk like that dragon sort of thing, where it's like I let the dragon get too big. I forget how you put that scenario, that thing, but you know what I'm talking about. But those are my thoughts, man, on it.
Yeah, that makes sense, man. I really wish that there was some way to change how my relationship with my wife affects the way friends perceive me. I don't necessarily feel changed, and that's what I think is the difficulty that I have with situations like this, because I feel like I've actually been finally unleashed, like I've finally allowed myself to be free, because I have someone that allows me to be 100% who I am all the time. And I don't have to be afraid of certain things that I was afraid of before. In fact, I felt less like myself before I met my wife. When I would hang out with people, when I would lie about my virginity, when I would lie about my or not even lie, it was more of a lie of omission. I just allowed people to think whatever they thought without saying anything. And so living that life and then finally having somebody where I can be 100% totally honest with them, it's like, wow, this is what I've really been searching for my whole life. This is what I needed, was somebody to allow me to just be me, whatever I want to be. And it's so interesting, the situation that you and I are finding ourselves in now, because when I met you, you were the first person in Dallas that I could hang with and I felt truly comfortable saying nigga around. And that might sound so what do you call it, petty or small, but I grew up with guys, and I had a group of friends where like we could say whatever the fuck we wanted, we could talk a certain way and nobody was offended by the way we were speaking. And then I came to Dallas and I have to code switch and I gotta be this particular type of a black guy in order to get along with my teachers and get along with the friends. And like I can be black, but I can't be too black. And when I met you, it was like, yes, finally somebody that I could be myself with. I could be, myself around. And and that's how I've always thought of you. And I thought of you as someone, or that's how I've always thought of myself around you, was someone who I could be myself around. And the way I thought of you was as just this person who was so comfortable in themselves that they didn't care how weird I was, how different, how not like that I was. I hang around a lot of men and who are like you, similar personality, but I feel a need to be more of a man with them. Like I gotta be more of whatever it is that I'm not really. But I gotta wear that because that's what they want. But that's not me. That's not who I am. But I hang around Akron and I get to be that. And Akron can be whatever he is, and I can be whatever I am. But we like get along, and it still works out. And there's a little bit of what makes you that makes me, and so that's where we get along. There's something that we relate on. And so it's always been surprising to me anytime to hear you talk about my being married and how it's been different, because I don't feel like that. I don't feel any different with you. And I actually start to feel the more different the more that you say it. I'm like, am I different, or what's different? Or maybe I can't say certain things, or and I start to watch how I'm being with you, instead of just being with you. And so that's an interesting phenomenon that's happening now. I find I'm like, are things okay? Am I cool? Is like what I'm doing all right with Akron is what and I find myself having to meet a standard that I didn't have to try to meet before. And I don't know how to get rid of that, or I don't know how to alleviate it.
Yeah. When I would have issues with you, man, it would be like trust. It would be like, like, can I trust this dude? But but the trust wasn't like you were gonna slit my throat or some shit, it it felt like you were still really hungry to get to the next level, and that you were going to be relentless about it and stop at nothing, and that might have meant like lie to me. And so I was trying to figure out why that was even a big deal, like who cares? But it was just like, why would he do that? And then when I would bring it up, it was like, no, it's absolutely not that. And so, of course I was like, like, what the fuck? Like, I went away. And then when it felt like it was happening again, it was like, I don't know, like, what's happened? Like, it was weird. Like, it was weird for me too. Like, please believe. It's been weird because it's weird enough for me to think about, man, every day, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so yeah. That it's it's levels to just like non-trust shit. Because I don't feel like you slit my throat in the middle of the night. You feel me? Like, I don't feel like that. I really don't. I want you to know that I don't feel that way. And
That's good.
I also feel like, bro, I also feel like if you and I spent time alone together, we would sync back up the way we always have. And so I wish that could happen.
It can, man. Like, all you gotta do is ask, bro.
Bro, I've wanted that, man, for, and like now I feel like I should say no homo and shit, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I miss my nigga, man. I miss you. And like, there was a moment when you were here where we played video games together, and this sounds so stupid, bro, but like, that is us and to me. And so for a moment we were being us outside of the Devil's Advocate, outside of Sick Brothers, outside of everything. We had just like, become Akron and Ace again, or even Adam. You feel me? So like, it's been in a sense, man, like, the barriers are like self-built. That I built the barriers myself, man. You didn't really take part in it. I just was noticing some shit that I could have completely written off, and instead, I held on to it, and it became bigger than it needed to be, and blah 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 blah. But like, yeah, it's also the pandemic, and it's also like my family's house, and it's also just a lot of stuff, and it's no excuses, but like, yeah, my birthday's coming up, man. I would hate to not be talking to you right before my birthday. That's how I feel. Like, I wish I could hang out with you on my birthday, bro. But yeah, I'm gonna be here, and yeah, that's never changed, man. It's just like, in a sense, I feel like when you come around, I have to prep, because it's not just you, it's you and your wife, and I have nothing against her. I just don't know her that well. And so like, I don't feel as chill around you and her as I do around you, because you and I have a rapport, and like, I don't feel the same vibe around you and her that I feel with just you. And I'm just being honest about that, because when I'm with the three of us, I be wanting to just hang with just you, bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's just being real. And so like, in letting that go, it hasn't, I just haven't handled it as well as I should have, man. It's probably, I've talked to my freaking mother about it. It's childish, man. I'm literally in my fucking 30s and don't know how to handle this shit. Talking to my mom about it and talking to friends about it. But yeah, man, it's just like, I just want to hang with the homie, I just want to, and like, it's been some successful times for me, man. And like, I just be wanting to just like share them with just you and just do shit with you. You know what I'm saying? But it hasn't happened like that, and it's not going to happen like that until I ask. And so I'm going to ask, but like, I've gone from like feeling like I shouldn't ask to feeling like, well, maybe I can't be as close of a friend to him because I want to ask. Like, maybe I don't even understand his situation enough to even be his friend. So I need to step away. Like it was, yeah, I've been through all those phases since January, because that's when we really started kicking up communication, and that's when I started having to really address it and deal with it. Because to talk to you over the phone and just, you know, every now and then how we were over the years, it would bother me a little bit in the, you know, like a little bit, but like I'm only talking to you like once every 6 months or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And so it was like, and then, you know, we've already talked about like, you know, sometimes you call me and like things would be negative about her, and so then I started to build like this negative thing about her in my brain that, you know, it's just human nature, I feel like, because I definitely didn't try to, but like I definitely started to feel differently about her, because when you call me, it would be, you know, something would be going on with you, with the two of you.
Yeah.
But, you know, again, these are not excuses, man. I'm just sort of like explaining myself in the moment, you know, just on the spot.
No excuses, because I mean, you're not excusing yourself from anything. You're just explaining your situation.
Yeah.
There's nothing to excuse yourself from, really. You know.
Man, we get some nice comments too, man. And this is a good episode, bro. This is it. This is good. This is not bad.
Nah, man. I always appreciate you letting me know anything, man. Like just anything that's on your mind, bro. Like because I really do. It's never changed that. Like Akron is gonna do Akron, so I always am just like, you gonna be off and figure it out. Like I'm never thinking that I'm never thinking that you're like fuck Ace, and I'm never, never gonna be it's like never gonna talk to him ever again or anything like that. I'd literally just chop it up to like, okay, Akron is gonna focus on Akron, and I'm never surprised by it when I don't hear from you. I'm never surprised by it when I don't, but I am surprised when you do tell me stuff. Well, I'm like, oh shit, that was the issue. I didn't think about that, or I didn't see that. I'm always surprised when you actually open up to me and tell me stuff, because that's just not what I expect from you. I just expect you to not, you're gonna do you, and I'm not gonna take offense to it, because I maybe took offense to it when I first met you. I think I genuinely remember what happened when I first wanted you to be a part of the Sick Brothers, and like I was meeting with the guys over the summer. It was that same summer we met, and I was like, yeah, telling all the guys about you. I was like, yo, this guy Akron, we made a couple songs together, and like he's gonna, help us take this shit to the next level, and yada yada yada. And then like I'm texting you to like join us at a meeting, and you don't text me back, you don't say anything, and I'm like, yo, dude, what the heck, man? Like I started getting upset, and you sent me like one text that I was like, oh, I'm done with this nigga. you were like, what did you say to me? You were like, I don't. You were like, I'm focused on my stuff. Like I don't have time for yada yada yada. Like you basically like, well, like, sit down, little man. And I was just like, oh, okay. So it's nothing to you, fine, whatever. And then and that was the first and last time that I really took offense to you being a lone wolf. But the fact that we've created since then and like met up since then, and you've truly shown yourself as a great friend in a lot of ways, man. You've really shown up for me. And sometimes it's surprising. It's always surprising, to be honest. But there have been times since then. So I just remember that moment, and I'm like, oh, Akron is just gonna do Akron. He's not gonna show. He may not show up. Like I'll be happy if he does, but like let's not get our expectations too high.
Man, you gotta understand, man. Like to hear you say that and still like laugh and talk about it is like because when I found that out about myself, brother, because like being young and being an only child and being self-centered and being selfish means something completely different than being a man, because you can do it as an adult and people won't notice it as much. They don't, people don't care as much about you. But like, man, as a young man, bro, I thought I was normal, and girls would be like, you are a selfish and it was always a girl. Like, a dude would just get mad, just like you say, you got mad and you made a decision to like keep fucking with me. But like, some niggas just don't hit me up. They just won't hit me up. They're like, this nigga Akron, man. Like, like, it's one nigga, this nigga Nick Christopher, who I want to be friends with so bad, man. He called me a force. He was like, you are a force, man. Like, I can't explain. Like, he was like, I love you, but like, nigga, like. And I think I surprised myself though with you, man, because you were like the first black dude I had met on the scene who made me feel like I could be comfortable being myself. Like, there was so many layers that I couldn't show before we met. It was like, oh, now I can be musical and we can talk about girls. It was like things were like lining up, and like all the girls you messed with were bad. And so it was like also that relationship got to cultivate the parties, man. And then we would just, after we had all that fun, we go back and make some more art. And like, that's why we ended up like living together. It was just like, we have been always in rhythm, man. Like the beat of your drum, man, is just like, oh yeah, okay, boom, yeah, like even when we create, I've had times over the last at least 4 months where we've been like frustrated a little bit with each other and still managed to like create something great out of that situation. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think that's a testament to like what I'm saying. So like, yeah, man, it's just, I value everything that we do. It's just like, there is just like this, like, I can't, I'm not trying to explain it away, man. I'm trying to be honest. Like, I had a mom who was like, you can do anything. And then I had a dad who was like, you better do everything. And then like, he was like, it's all on you. You ain't gonna have no friends. He was like, that was his excuse, like to like not have me hang around my friends sometimes. He'd be like, at the end of the day, you're going to end up by yourself as an adult, and it's going to be all on you. It's going to be your responsibility to handle all your business. It's not going to be about your friends. It's going to be about you. So you better make sure you are in order. Like, and I'm not blaming him but I can remember so many times where that's just been pumped into me. And I don't even realize that it happens sometimes. And like, there's a specific text I sent like 2 weeks ago that is a perfect example where this person was like, I hit you up and you didn't answer either of those texts. And so, I just wanted to know, like, should I even be hitting you up? And my response to that was, I'm not going to answer every text. I have a whole life going on over here. And true.
No, that sounds like exactly what you texted me, bro. When that sounds like what you texted me the first time I got mad at you, bro. That sounds exactly like something you say, bro. Have you learned nothing in 10 years?
Amanda Seals said it best, man. Amanda Seals just said it. This is why I follow her. This is why I live, man. Realist. Like, we get a bad rap, man. Like, because I will say some true ass shit that just don't need to be said. I will do some true ass shit that just don't need to be done. It'd be like, man, nigga, like it's just, you didn't have to do that. You didn't have to say that. You could have said something completely different. And but like, yeah, man, I get a really bad rap for just like I don't know, bro. But I love you, man. And shit, I love you, man. And like, you married now, man. Congratulations. I ain't even really realize he was like married until you came to Chicago and was like, we married. I was like, oh shit.
We just had a hearty discussion with my uncle in New Jersey. Man, he was he was about to yoke me up. He was like, "When did y'all get married? What happened?" Like he was so mad, but we had to explain the situation. So actually, I'll explain it right here on the podcast, y'all. If you want to know, Gabrielle and I are we have pipe dreams. If you don't know, we got pipe dreams.
Okay.
We have thought about our idea of a wedding, and every time we think about it, the idea gets more elaborate and more detailed to the point where we said we're going to have a 3-year engagement. We were engaged in 2017, and we said by 2020 we'll be able to get married. As the years went by and we started looking up like what are the perks of being married versus not being married, it just seemed like why the heck were we waiting for this big expensive ceremony that we can't afford to get married when like we actually want to benefit from the marriage right now? Like we don't get any benefits being engaged. We get zero of the benefits. So why don't we just sign the paper right now? Let's not tell anybody, and then we can just have the party of our dreams and rich and famous. And then did it. We signed the papers very nonchalantly and covertly, but then stupid, we started calling each other husband and wife around people. Oh yeah, my husband, my wife, and just not thinking about it because we weren't thinking about marriage and like we just weren't thinking about it the way that everybody else was. And so now we're saying, oh, this is my wife, this is my husband, this is my wife, this is my husband, and everybody's like, wait, what? And we had to change everything, and everybody's getting all upset. So it's like, hey, y'all just be motherfucking patient. We got married. It's our life. Y'all be patient, and you'll be at the party, okay? You'll be at the party. It's gonna be a big party. It's gonna be people getting private jets flying. We're gonna probably rent one of Johnny Depp's islands. You know, we're gonna help out other actors. You know, we gotta help out the bankrupt actors.
Help us, please.
So we probably, rent out an island or something and fly out the whole family, the whole team, and it's gonna be good. So
Yeah.
So get ready and act like we were never married, and then like we are married on that day. You know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing. Here's what I'm really mostly mad about is the bachelor party that I never got to have.
Yo, we gonna have it, bro. We can have it whenever. It's on you. So you got time until we have this wedding, bro. You got from now until whenever we have this wedding.
So you're telling me that I can plan a butt naked trip to Dominican Republic now?
Yes, bro. It will be highly appreciated.
All right, well, shit, we should have came to Cabo. If that was the case, I was like, this nigga can't come. I planned the trip right in front of you because I was like, you can't come. I went to Cabo secretly. I was like, well, I can't tell nobody because they'd be like, where's your homie? He can't come. So I didn't tell nobody. But yeah, man, I went to Cabo without your ass. That would have been lit.
Oh yeah, we'll have one, man. Whenever it makes sense for you, whenever it makes sense for me.
Hey, man, honestly, flights are still cheap there. I know all the underground places to have all the underground girls do all the underground things. So we should just
they got underground COVID? I just want to know if they got underground COVID, bro. That's all.
Bruh, I'm not done with it. You can't be done with COVID. We'll never be done with COVID. But like, I got my second shot today, and my mom got the shot. That's why I got the shot. So, to me, I'm trying to care about everybody in the situation. I'm trying to care about other people, myself, my family. They're all like praying for me. I'm here in LA trying to get out the house, when I can. So, and then I got people, Shakendra, people who like me, care about me. So I got my second shots. So I'm feeling more and more confident about my future with COVID. My future without COVID.
Your future without COVID. Word.
My future without COVID, and we went to a thing together. I was really surprised that you guys came to that thing, but like I really appreciate you trusting me enough to do that. Cause that felt like, all right, Akron, because I know y'all. I don't know when the last time you've been to a thing, but I was like, oh shoot, they're coming. And so, that felt like y'all were putting your trust in me, and I acknowledge.
Yeah, we appreciate that. We have fun. It was a great way to end our LA trip.
Yeah.
It was
great. Yeah, and all those people were super vaccinated and safe.
The more the merrier, right?
The more super vaccinated, safe people, the merrier.
Well, bro, we've been on this for an hour, and this was a really great conversation.
Yeah.
Just like last week, man, I do like the loose format. I do think we should just at least talk about we could come up with at least one question that we can ask. It doesn't have to be like what we were doing with planning with the document, but I think if we come up with, just a simple topic, right? Something, some simple question or something that can guide us to how we lead our regular weekly conversation.
I think the first question that I want to answer right now is, when should we choose the topic? I've been struggling with that because I think we choose the topic too early in the week to truly address what's happening in the world right before we air. And so I love the broad topics that we choose, but I wish there was a way we could infuse like a little bit more like Saturday news into Monday.
Well, we can just talk about every episode. We always talk about the news before we get into the question of the week.
Oh, we do? Okay.
All right. I'm saying we can, like, so.
Oh yeah, I think we should. I think we should just have like a little current.
Yeah, and I mean, that could be something, because I don't really follow the news like that. So, yeah, if you have stuff, we can just have you talk about that. That could be the first segment. You talk about that for the first 10, 15 minutes. Or whatever, or however long it needs. It's probably gonna be like 2 minutes, of just headlining news, breaking news. Maybe it might spawn you to, spark some questions for me, like things that you think about that I might be opposed to or interested in or whatever. And then we can just go into whatever just a general question. Because I like this, last week it was like what we were just catching up, but this week was, what are we doing with the Devil's Advocate show? And that, I think a question like that can kind of at least help us lead the conversation into some truth.
All right, so then, because I'm thinking about communicating with you more and that helping, me being like talking about our ideas more. Because there is the funny thing is that I have a really strong desire to work on our stuff, but we don't talk about it enough for me to really feel like we're working on it, and like, for instance, Blackout, I feel like you're working on that like solo dolo, right? Or probably with Jeff, I guess. We haven't talked about that at all, and I'm
working on it. I mean, I'm writing scenes. I'm looking at. I created an outline, and I just talked to my cousin about filming it, because he's getting into film. The same cousin that helped us with the album, he has a home production company, so he's been doing a lot of film work, and he said I'm like, yo, you could have your first project, your first feature film done this year if you team up with us. So he's on board. That was literally yesterday that I talked to him, and then Vin is gonna help write the script.
You want to talk to the? Did you want to consult with the psychiatrist at all, like the therapist?
Absolutely. I think I need to get some. Like, I just need to get a script done so that I can start using the script to like get people on board. Because right now I'm just like, hey, I got this blackout idea, and then I have nothing to really show them. So I'm gonna be working with Vin in the next couple of weeks to just get a script down, something done, so that we have it. Then we can critique it. We can say, oh, we want to take these scenes out, add these scenes, put this in. I could start sending that to my cousin or whoever else will help us film it, and then they could say, okay, this is what we need to film it, and we can plan it, and then do it in the fall. Which, speaking of blackout, since I have you, I was thinking about the trajectory for the year, and if we do Top Dog Underdog, my fear is that it will not allow us to get Blackout done, and we'll end up rushing Blackout. And I think that if we get our film done, then that will free us to be able to do something simpler like Top Dog Underdog.
You don't have to say it anymore, because I was really worried about Top Dog Underdog, because I was like, if we're not talking right now, we need to figure out our communication. Like, it's not gonna Top Dog Underdog doesn't make sense enough. Like, personally, I've been working on my housing, and so I've got that figured out. Now I'm gonna move back to Dallas in June, and then I'm gonna in New York. Now that I know that New York is open, I've already started getting Broadway auditions. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go home and start subletting in New York, but I'm not renting anymore. I'm just gonna take the rest of my savings, bite the bullet, buy my way out of this, and then buy a place in Dallas, and it'll just be like a little house that I'll just be renting out while I'm subletting in New York. And I know that sounds like a lot, but that was a huge fucking decision for me to have to make. Like, I'm in a lease, I need to buy a house, and I need to be in New York all at the same time. And so, I finally, on Mother's Day, told my mom, whatever you say in this conversation is what's going to happen. Like, some have to do that, because I'll be trying to make a decision, man, until I can't make a decision anymore. You know what I mean? Like, until like I'm forced to do something.
Right.
Especially with how, my ex-roommate has me tied up in this situation. So that decision finally got made this week. And with that being said, I was like, making the movie now will be really easy. I don't know what Top Dog Underdog is going. I just we made a timeline for it, and I feel like we're already halfway in it.
Yeah.
Basically.
Absolutely. We just need to do a lot more planning, and I feel like with theater just opening back up, it's going to be harder to get that project done the way we want to get it done.
The way we originally envisioned it.
Yeah. So, and I feel like everybody is trying to make movies right now. Like, everybody's like, we could do a movie, and if we write this simply enough, we can pull it together. I'll send you some of my cousin's stuff. I was like surprised, low key, like, dang, dude, you're kind of nasty with videography.
Who's editing? Who wants to edit?
I'll edit it. I'm gonna edit it. I'm gonna do it all, bro. Like, we gonna get it done. Like,
okay. I know great editors in town, but if you want,
I mean, like, I'm always happy to show some people, but I think if we want to get it done by the end of the year, like, we should just we should just get it done, man. Like, no,
Done.
let's not wait. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to do. She's gotta have it. Like, I want to have my first film done.
Okay.
You know,
I
get
saw
it
you
done.
put filmmaker by your name on Instagram. Like,
Word, man. Like, that's where it's at. I want people to see me in films, about films, on films, like how Jordan Peele is.
yeah,
Like, I want to be on that wave, but as a serious actor, not a comic actor. Um, I mean, he does. I mean, he's. But anyway, yeah,
yeah, I
he's a
hear
little.
you.
Yeah,
I hear you. But I mean, you know, you never know. Honestly, what people would like love from you, and that you may want to keep doing just because of that. You know what I mean?
right, right.
They see you do some comic character, and then they're like, "Oh my God, can you do this thing for us for
Mm.
$1 million a year?" And you're like, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I might. But yeah, man. I mean, that being said, too, like, you know, the self tape game, you know, my self tape game is getting stronger, and I'm really excited, man, about these no's that I've been getting, because you know the opportunities keep coming, and like I know that with every no, my yes is coming, and so I'm really excited about all these no's, man. I mean, of course, I'm excited about the yes, but you know, I'm getting better with every no,
yeah.
handling it, and what it means to me, and like just, you know, I'm loving the work now more. Like I'm starting to like love on the work more, and like it's a great time for Broadway to be opening back up, because I'm falling back in love with acting. I sort of fell out of love with it. Um, but you know, yeah, it's getting better and better. And so, yeah, man, I'm really excited to move back to Dallas and be working with you firsthand again. And if nothing else, man, I'm, you know, this week I'm definitely gonna try harder to just communicate with you more.
Yeah, man. Let's do it, bro. I'm ready to create.
Wanted to reiterate that is what it's about, man. Let's create,
Mm-hmm.
and let's make some money too, though, man. I hear you though on the album, bro. I'm like, I don't understand how to do it. Like you asking me, I'm like, I
I
don't.
think I think we need to send it to more people. As man, like we need to create a list and just be like, yo, because that's how I got my manager. Like, just sent them an email, and I think that's like we want to be. If we want to take our music somewhere, then I think we gotta get it to the people that can help us take it to the next level.
All right,
Um, yeah. And even if it's like they hear it and they're like, "Hey, I want to help you guys write another album or like write something else," like they don't push that. It's just they can kind of help curate the next one.
yeah, but yeah, man. I'm already working on the next one, so like, I
Yeah.
really,
I've
you know,
decided that this month is May Monologue Madness, and next month is June Tune Jamboree. So I'll be making a song every day.
what's up, bro?
Yeah, yeah. So here we go.
June
Uh,
2, read, man. Make some shit with that word on there. I need to see that. June 2 Jamboree. That's what's up.
yeah.
All right, bro. I'm gonna get out of here, man. Go grab
All
some
right,
food.
man.
It's been good.
Been great. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for watching us and being a part of this truth session. So it's a good conversation every week on Monday at 10 p.m. CST. The Devil's Advocate, making the best. What'd you say? Oh, 8 p.m.
You God damn it. That's what
PST,
I know. Pieces.
11 p.m. EST, and then what's the mountain time? Is there mountain time? 9 p.m. MST.
What time is it in London?
But yes, ladies and gentlemen, this has been great. Ace Anderson and Akron Watson. We'll see you next week for Akron's birthday.
Oh, boom.
Oh shit.
On my birthday. Oh, boom.
On the birthday. We're gonna be celebrating. We're gonna be smoking. We're gonna be drinking. We're probably gonna have strippers on the show. So get ready.
I know so. Okay, that's what's up.
All right, y'all. We'll catch y'all next time, man. Oh shit. Let me play this outro music. Peace out, y'all.